Hello, and welcome to Lunar Persuasion Astrology. Today we're going to look at the transits for February 2025 using the Sidereal Zodiac. We're going to look at the direct motion of Uranus, Mars, and Jupiter this month, as well as Sun entering into the sign of Capricorn. Now, I'll do a breakout video on the full moons and the new moon. So for today, we're just going to look at the overall transits for the month. And then at the end of the video, we'll go into where these energies are taking place for your ascendant. So to get started, we've got February 4th, Uranus and Jupiter are both turning direct, and Uranus is in Aries. It's actually in the final degrees of Aries, while Jupiter has been in Taurus and has been for a little while now. So talking about Uranus, it is in that 29th degree, and that's considered an old degree. And what does that mean? Well, that just means that it can be unreliable. So Uranus is the planet of innovation and eccentricity, being really eccentric. It's unpredictable right now in these late degrees of Aries, and it will turn direct and re-enter Taurus along with Jupiter. So these late degrees of Aries deals with the theme of the self. Aries represents the first house of the self, individuality, the physical body. And during this 29-degree transit, it can be really unreliable. And Uranus moves very slowly, so it stays in this degree for a while. But no worries, there will be a new fresh mindset awaiting on the other side once Uranus enters into Taurus, because right now we're just kind of working through these ideas in our mind, and there's just some uncertainty around that. But once it speeds up in Taurus, things will get moving again. There'll be that innovation that kind of similar to Mercury's energy. Now, Jupiter will be up until the point of it turning direct on February 4th. Jupiter will slow down, just like all the planets do before they turn retrograde or direct. They slow down and they station on a degree. So Jupiter's going to slow down and station around the 17-degree mark of Taurus before turning direct. So Jupiter's expansive qualities will begin to ramp up, and so will our overall hope and optimism. However, Jupiter's not very happy in Taurus. It's not the strongest. It's an enemy. Jupiter is an enemy of Venus. And so there's this potential for our worldly desires to amplify in an excessive or an indulgent kind of a way. There is a planetary exchange, though, between Jupiter and Venus, and this can be positive. But since this exalted Venus is also joined Rahu, the desire for this unconstrained power is at an all-time high. And why is that? It's because the sign of Pisces is boundless. There's no boundaries in Pisces. It's all about expansion. And you've got Venus there, which is the planet of our desires, our happiness. It's where we feel appreciated. And it's joined Rahu, which is a very unpredictable, shadowy node of the moon. And when these two things are joined together, it's giving this kind of unsatiable desire for power and satisfaction and pleasure. And so when we've got that joined in with Uranus there at that final degree of Aries, it's just, and then also Jupiter is retrograde, which is our guiding post, our guiding light. So this is just a very unreliable time right now, especially for just that inner dialogue that we have with ourselves. It can be something that is, just because we think it doesn't mean that it's true, right? So that's something to think about. We've also got Neptune in the mix in Pisces, and Neptune is kind of like that higher vibration of Venus, and it's the planet of illusion and delusion. So the Neptune, Venus, Rahu joined together can really create this mix of fantasy thinking, disillusionment, and can be really ungrounded. Our thoughts can be really ungrounded. Our desires can be really ungrounded and kind of unrealistic overall. Now, Mars is going to go direct in Gemini. So the end of January, I believe it's January 21st, Mars will re-enter Gemini in a retrograde motion, and he'll start to slow down, and he stations at the 22-degree mark in Gemini before turning direct on February 23rd. So then Mars will pick up speed and head towards Cancer again, where he is debilitated, but this time he's going to have a lot more speed, a lot more energy. And so this can be a really intense period full of emotions, misdirected anger, and depending on where Mars is in your chart, this misguided passion can create some challenges if you're not careful. So we'll look at where Mars is in your chart after we go over this. So we've got Sun in Pluto in Capricorn, and we've got Mercury there as well, but we're just going to look at Sun and Pluto. So this brings an intense focus on government and lines of power and authority. So Pluto is like Mars in that it transforms by breaking down and removing the things that aren't working anymore, but it's much more intense and has this explosive nature. Now, when Pluto is combined with the Sun, the Sun wants to purify wherever he transits. And Pluto's nature is brought into the spotlight and into focus where these themes of authority and power are really under scrutiny for the duration of this Sun transit. So overall, there is a lot of restructuring energy happening right now. Saturn is still in Aquarius, and it's combined with this emotional Mars and the desires of Venus and Rahu, this hunger for power and the need to feel appreciated and valued. So those themes are really running high at this time. And as always, the lesson is to look within and to work on yourself, and through that growth, you can help and contribute to those around you from that place of strength. And that's really important because these energies are very much promoting a blame-placing kind of attitude. It's really easy to get stuck in our emotions and want to point the finger and blame others and be really wrapped up in our own desires and that sort of thing. So that's just something to keep in mind. Okay, so let's take a look at where all of these energies are playing out for you based on your ascendant. These signs are in different houses, so each house will kind of highlight a different area of your life. So if your ascendant, if your rising sign is a fire sign, which is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, Capricorn and Taurus are both Artha houses, and these houses deal with themes of money, resources, work, and also your value system. These houses of prosperity, responsibility, and security are undergoing a major transformational growth. Okay. Pisces is a moksha house. So there's this theme of self-realization and detachment associated with your desire for happiness. Now, any resistance to change will only intensify the challenges that you're faced with. That's this moksha energy. So surrender what is out of your control and focus on establishing your inner peace, whether that be through meditation, prayer, or just spending time in nature and away from the screen, away from the doom scrolling. If your ascendant is an earth sign, this is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Capricorn and Taurus are both Dharma houses for you. And so these houses deal with themes of finding your purpose, feeling fulfilled, and just overall a responsibility towards contributing to the greater good for yourself and ultimately the things that you influence and the people that you influence in your life. There is a potential for big change and making real progress towards your goals. Pisces is a Kama house for you, so there is a theme of relationships and enjoyment of life's beauty around you. Enjoy this energy, but avoid anything in excess as it will be easy to overindulge during this time. If your ascendant is an air sign, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, Capricorn and Taurus are both moksha houses, and these houses deal with themes of deep connections, introspection, and an overall theme of letting go, freedom from material attachments. So any resistance here will only set you back. So really looking within and making those hard decisions will be the ultimate predictor of your future self. Pisces is an Artha house for you, so there is a theme of responsibility, hard work, and financial income. Maintaining healthy boundaries around your moral values and monetary values is really important at this time. If your ascendant is a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Capricorn and Taurus are both Kama houses, and these houses deal with relationships, your social interactions, and overall themes of enjoyment and pleasure. The things you usually enjoy are under scrutiny while simultaneously trying to expand. So being mindful of who you associate with and the things you communicate to others is extra important during this time. Pisces is a Dharma house for you, so there is a theme of finding a higher purpose, living up to your potential, and seeking out meaning and purpose in life. This can be a creative and inspirational time for you, especially once Mars goes direct again. All right, so guys, I really hope you found this video helpful. And if you want to learn more about sidereal astrology, you can go to my website, lunarpersuasion.com, where I have in-depth articles and case studies using this system of astrology. And with that being said, I hope everyone has an awesome February, and see you later.
It wasn't always like this. There was a time when I was strong enough to carry you and me across the fire beneath our feet. But now I'm weak, I let the anger carry me. These tiny steps I took didn't get me